Hi everyone! 皆さん、こんにちは。10日間のオンラインビジネスの旅の、今日は6日目になります。ですね、本日はシンガポールの起業家の、クエンさんをゲストとしてお迎えしております。ですね、クエンさんは私と同じ一児の母で、息子さんはだいぶ年上なんですけれども、子育てママとして、今日は、ゲストで、ですね、何でしたっけ、オンラインの、ジャーニーを、お届けしていただきたいと思います。ということで、クエンさん、イントロデュースを、お願いします。はい。
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Gwen, and I'm from Singapore. Mom to a teen, a solo parenting mom, actually. A digital business entrepreneur, also a mentor, and I guide people who's interested to start their digital business. So I give them the step-by-step guide and help them to build up from ground. Do you have another question for me?
Oh, yes. Yes, good question. So, I would like to ask the reason why you started this online business and also how you met this business.
Thank you so much for the question. This question too is going to be quite a long one because, it goes back quite a few years. So I'm just going to go down from my very personal level, meaning how I started off, okay? And what brought me to where I am today as a digital business entrepreneur. I'm trained as a graphic designer and a trained photographer. So basically, to talk about creativity and making interesting pages, that has been in my bloodstream because that's how I was trained, right? And then I went on to become a cabin crew with Singapore Airlines. And I was with Singapore Airlines for a good 17 years. So if you've traveled to Australia, right, Yumi-san, I think from Japan, you may have taken Singapore Airlines before. So those are the ladies in the sarong kebaya, yes.
Yeah.
You know what is sarong kebaya? It's those, with the front zipper, very tight ones. Half the time we can't even breathe when we are working.
Oh, really? It looks beautiful, no?
Yes, we look beautiful, but you have no idea how much we struggle with that one.
Really? Okay.
Yes. But that is how it is, and we're supposed to look with the hourglass figure, and that's the expectation, the image of a Singapore girl. And I rose up the rank from blue uniform to green and become a red as a supervisor. So it came to a point when I'm 17 years of flying, and I told myself, back then I was still married, and I said, hey, there will come a point of time, right? I'm going to be aging. I'm going to grow old. Now, I can't be still flying then, right? Then I have to have a backup plan. And then I told my husband then, okay, maybe we should have a kid. And then we had a kid. So I quit flying. Sarong Kebaya goes behind the cupboard and sit in there for the longest time and never see the daylight anymore. And I became a mom for 7 years. Now, here's the difference, a drastic change that kind of mold me to where I am today. From someone who is very confident, traveling the world, seeing branded things, seeing beautiful places, and confident to talk to celebrities and all. And suddenly I found myself in a little bubble. Right, Yumi-san? Suddenly you don't know who you are anymore. I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror, I said, who's this lady with the messy hair and always in the pajamas carrying a baby?
Hi.
Walking the house, mopping the floor. I've lost a sense of purpose in life. Yeah. I mean, being a mom is also a duty. It is an honorable job, and I don't know why a lot of people think being a mom is easy, because it's not easy. Being a mom, right, takes a lot of our time, a lot of attention, a lot of love, and for that love to flow to our family, and this mommy must also receive the love. When she feels full, she can give more, right? So this is where the sad part happened. My life went downhill. I went to a place which is very dark. We call it depression. So I went into depression, and I didn't know who I was. I lost a sense of purpose. I find myself sitting in the kitchen on the floor, crying for no reason.
Oh.
Yes. That was how it felt like. And so that's where I was. And I told myself, not realizing, right, during that time, 7 years as a homemaker, I was completely cut off from the working world. I thought I could pick myself up, but I could not. The divorce was very hard, but I gave up everything just to walk out. He made it a very difficult thing for me. So I sort of like, okay, fine. You have whatever you want. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost everything. What is left of me is just one hand luggage and a baby in the arm. Walk out. But thankfully, my parents were there then. And then, I had the savings to pull me through. And, I lost my house. What do? I still need to put a roof over my house, isn't it? I have a baby to take care of now. And I'm doing it alone. That's where the reality sets in some more. And it's just horrible. So I told myself, 2 ways. Fall flat, give up, end of story. Or tell myself it's okay. Get up again, keep going. And when I look at my son, he was only like 4 years old then. Very cute, very adorable, like your son, like me.
Yeah. Now nearly 3.
And I'm like, that would be very self-centered and very selfish of me to just give up everything. What about him? Then I told myself, he's the reason. He's my big why in life now. And because 7 years away from the working force, I was not in a position to negotiate for good package. I can't tell the employer, like, I demand to have this salary. I want to have this benefit, I need to have annual leave. I need to have 1 year, 2 weeks of annual leave. No, I don't get that anymore. Because they will throw to me this question. You've been away for 7 years. What were you doing? And then, to receive this kind of question as a mom, I've been a mom. Is that nothing to anyone? But to mommies, Yumi-san, you know what it's like, right? It's a 24/7 job.
Yes, it's not that easy, It's not easy.
Yeah, but then to hear this from outside employers because you want to get in their book so that they hire you. So that's where I was. I told them I'm willing to take pay cut. What I used to earn, I was cut off to maybe 2/3 of it was gone. And I was starting from very little. And I told myself, I still need to start somewhere. So with that, working hard and save up, I don't know if you believe me, but I'm a Christian, right? So my faith came in as well from there because I nearly wanted to give up. Hope comes in a very, miraculous way. I found my path and then, it's like people just step into my life step by step along the way. And I found my way out. I was able to rent in a place, an apartment. But of course, today I bought a place myself. Through the business, I'm able to get a home for myself. And now we are living in our own apartment. So which is a big change from what I used to be, like, really, really at my lowest low. In a black hole. I don't know how I survived, until today. I'm still asking myself, how in the world did I survive that? But I did, you see. I did. Yeah. So that's how my journey has been like. At first job after 7 years as an educator, so I was like working at the kindergarten, teaching. Then I told my then employer, I said, I cannot afford childcare. What do I do? I like to work for you, but I can't afford a childcare. Don't worry, you take care of others, I'll take care of yours. So I said, finally, a few years when I tried to get back up on my feet with the work, it was tough, right? But eventually, I managed to get back on my own 2 feet. That was before I started digital business, okay? When we are very confident, we plan about our future. We are telling ourselves, oh, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take up extra course. I'm going to upgrade myself. And maybe aim for a promotion next year, or we plan it all so well. But what happened is when we don't have a plan B, that's when it hits you hard. Anything can happen to anyone, right? Tomorrow is never promised to anybody. This is what I want to share, okay? It is so, so important. I cannot emphasize this enough. We must have a plan B. You can be doing a job, a full-time job, and you must have a backup plan. So for me, back then, I did not have a backup plan. I thought, oh, okay, I was still young. I'm a young mother. I have got a kid. I can work. Oh, well, jolly good. I can pay for my house. I can go for holiday, good enough. Until wham, bam, something happened. Accident. I had an accident. I got injured. Cervical spine at C3, 4, 5, and 6. The nerves was being compressed. So I went to the specialist, the surgeon in the hospital, and they said, Quen, we need to perform a surgery. It's going to be an invasive surgery where they will go through from the front of my throat here, puncture a hole, and go right down to the back to the cervical. Yes, the like a donut. You have got the donut thing. One stack on top of the other of our spine. So they said we're going to remove one of the cushion and fuse it together. They call it the fusion surgery, right? And I told the doctor, I said, you know what, doctor, I can't take the risk. He looked at me puzzled. Why? But you're in serious condition, I said, what are the chances of this surgery to be 100% successful? Then he told me very honestly, as a surgeon, we can never tell you it's 100% because every surgery, if they do it on you, operated on you, there will be a risk. At the very most, we will tell you 70-30%. Then I told him, doctor, listen, I'm a solo parenting mama. I have a young child to take care of. If you cannot guarantee me 100% of recovery, I am not doing it. I cannot afford to lie down on the operating table with the laughing gas on. And what if I don't wake up? Who's going to take care of my baby? Then the doctor nodded his head. He said, okay, I see your point. Then I asked the doctor, do you have any other solution, any other options that I can go? Then he said, this is going to be a very long process. It's called physiotherapy. You have to go for intensive physiotherapy. Every week you have to come to the hospital for 2 hours, 2 sessions. So I've been doing that for the last 1.5 years. So during that time, I was doing all this every day, day in, day out, go and do the therapy. They will put me on a like a stretcher thing, with a neck brace, and then they try to stretch you out, and then electric current to check the nerves and everything. So I went through all of the whole process and a lot of treatment that is. So for 1.5 years, you see, what happens? Okay, if we are working, we have our savings. Now 1.5 years, like me, when I go through for hospital treatment, eventually my savings is gonna dwindle, isn't it?
Yeah,
it will just
of course.
This is the problem I learned to see is a lot of people say, oh, buying something is expensive, right? Why is it expensive? Because we trade off our time. We give up something in exchange for that money, For me, that's the case. I gave up my time with my son and then, taking care of other kids instead of my own kids just so I can have the salary. And then with the money I take in end of the month, I exchange it for something else so I can get my house. So this whole cycle is all about a system barter. In English, they call it a system barter, like, exchange. So that actually does not work in the entrepreneurship world. As an entrepreneur, what we need is we need to have a solution to a business that helps generate extra for us, not in exchange of us. We provide a solution that can solve our problems in life. So that's what I learned to see. So I avoided that. I went for physiotherapy. So 1.5 years, and I told myself, the realization about the thing about exchange, getting salary. Now I go back into where I was before I started business. I didn't know it was that. So I told myself I was very desperate. I don't know what to do. Okay, finish treatment. What do? I go back home. I'm with my son, I was scrolling the internet. That's where I saw an advertisement that popped up and said, hey, then I saw an ex-colleague of mine. Last time used to work with me in the airline, right? And she started the business because, of course, the picture, she was smiling and happy and all that. I didn't know what she was doing. I was so curious, and I dropped her a message. Hey, what are you doing? I'm a full-time mom, and I'm doing a online business. Online business?
Oh.
So I said, what is that? Oh, okay. It's like a side income. I said, ding, side income. That's what I need, right? And because after the injury, I had another problem. I sent out all the resume. When you go for job, you have to send for the resume, go for interview. None of it came back because, they're able to access the record. Oh, Quen has got injury before, the insurance claims and everything. So company would think that, oh, this is a liability. Meaning you are not giving benefit to the company. You will likely take something from them. They said, oh, you have an injury before, then very likely you will have a relapse, same injury happening again. So better not hire you, risky. So I told myself, this is not fair. I'm a very good worker. I gave so much, and then, always employee of the month kind of thing. And then just because of one injury, salary got cut and I cannot work. I had to pay for medical fee. And here they say, thank you for your service. So what do? I'm back to square one again, to where I was before I got you, right? Again, another round. Then I told myself, okay, if I'm not going to get the opportunity, I'm going to create one for myself. If you're not hiring me, I will hire me. I'll be my own boss. I hire me. So that's what I did. So I embarked on the business. Then you're going to ask me, how did I manage to invest in this business? I'm able to invest because it's a lot manageable than an actual brick and mortar business. The amount is more manageable, right? And then I got this amount from my insurance payout. When I got injured, the insurance paid me. So I took some of it, I put into the business. That's how I started. So within 3 months, my business was up and running. And that is when I found purpose once again. I said, hey, if I cannot work outside, I don't know who I am anymore. Now I find myself back again. I get to do leveraging on social media, things that I love. I love to do editing. I like to do videography. I like to talk to people. Literally everything that I used to do before I quit from the airline, I'm doing it now. So it's literally bringing back my past to the future. And now I can even travel because of this business. Isn't that awesome? So people say entrepreneur. I call myself mompreneur. And today I add on one more title in front of the mompreneur. I say I'm a traveling mompreneur. My business allows me to do this. Yeah, I can travel. I'm also a 24/7 mom with my son. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. So you like Japan, right? Like every year you go back to Japan for holiday. Yeah, it's great.
I think you had another question for me, right? One more question.
Oh yes, I have another. So this is the last question. So what is your dream, like for your future? What do you wanna do, and what's your dream?
My dream is to buy a house in Japan.
Oh.
Yes, that is also, I take the opportunity to travel to Japan every year, and what I do is I will go and see places that I like and a potential place that I can buy a home and build a home there, because it has got the 4 seasons and Japan is a beautiful country. So my dream is to be able to migrate overseas and also to do the things that my son likes. He loves to train. He loves everything Shinkansen. So what better way to bring him to actually be there and day in, day out see the bullet train go by? That would be the best dream to come true.
Yeah.
And because I'm also doing this digital business full time, I'm able to train my son to become like me. So he's learning every step of the way. See what mommy do. Oh, mommy is doing this. So this is how you edit. Oh, this is how you run the business. Oh, and then he gets to learn time management. He gets to learn money management skills, and he learns about leveraging on social media. Why give fish to our kids? Teach them how to fish, and they can feed themselves all their life. So I'm just waiting for the moment when he turns 18, then he can be my partner.
Great.
So
we can
leaving a
leave the legacy.
That is my whole long story. It's a bit too long, isn't it? I
hope
it's
okay. It's okay. Yeah. Thank you for all the your dreams and your journey. So you love doing this business, right?
Very, very much, yes.
Yeah, I can see you really enjoying. And then I always look at your design and your page. It looks really fashionable. Using the nice color, right word. Yeah, that's, I think, all from your background, like a designer background.
That's right. Oh, and also one more thing that I want to bring up is, I often get the question, people say, hey, you're doing digital business. What exactly is that? Well, it's literally, when we have a brick and mortar business, which is seated on the ground, where you have an actual building. So imagine a business that has no walls and no floors, no ceiling. That business come onto the digital platform. So what we do is, when we travel, my business travel with me, and this is shop front. My business is here. I travel. I'm a traveling mompreneur. My business travels with me. And that is how fantastic this business is for me because I'm not tied down. I have done brick and mortar business before. It's tough. You are expected to be at the storefront from 9 to 5. And then, people get paid. The workers get paid first, but the boss never get paid. But then to the outsider, they say, boss, wow, sounds so good, boss. But nobody knows the real struggle of a real boss. They said, my pocket is always empty. I cannot take the salary from the business because the money has to roll, paying of the rental, the lease, and electricity, everything keep going. So cannot pay for all that. If you take it out, then your business is just nothing to invest again. It has to keep rolling, you know what I'm saying? So this digital business makes it so affordable, easy to run, flexible, and I can be a mom anytime. And I just work like, maybe 2 to 4 hours, right, Yumi? This is fantastic. What more can I ask?
Yeah, so easy. Like pick the time you want. So yeah, your priority is looking after your son, right? Then you can, do the online business in between. So how I do.
Yes, correct. So this business is most perfect if, especially for moms who are staying at home. Being a mom is great. It's a sacrificial job, it's something that you give in a lot. But then here's a word of advice for all mommies out there, okay? Mommies, if you are taking care of your kid, never neglect your own upskilling. Continue to upgrade yourself up here. Keep learning. Don't stay stagnant. Because our life as moms is not just mopping floor, cleaning the plates, clean the aircon, and wipe the window. Learn new skill, keep learning, keep staying informed so you know what is happening outside the world. So when your husband is working outside, when they come back, you know what they're talking about and you are relatable, So there's a topic of discussion. And then when our children, these days, our children are internet era children. Why I say that is because, children in a stroller, what they do is sitting in the baby stroller, this is their action, swiping the screen, right? Is that relatable to anyone?
Yeah.
During my time and Yumi's time also, children do what? We have our own soft toy. We sit in the stroller and we play with our soft toy. And then play with something that jiggle on your stroller and you play like that. And these days children don't do that anymore. They go this, they're more high tech. They do this, they scream. And then they watch, they watch all the little tubbies and whatever videos, right?
Exactly.
So, when they grow up, they're gonna be super good with their internet. Are you gonna tell the kid, if you have a daughter, what are you doing on the internet? Just chatting. But if you are smart, you learn how to use your internet, right? You are very good with your internet background. This is where the training is, with the training that we have. It teaches you how to go into it and stay safe on internet. So you can sort of like keep an eagle eye to our kids, I know what you're doing. Don't tell me mommy don't know anything. I know what you're doing, okay? I am trained in social media. So you can have a common topic as well when you talk to the kids that, okay. Oh, today you went to TikTok. Oh yeah, I also went to TikTok. This is a common ground, You can communicate. Because youngsters communicate this way. The generation Z, their language is completely different. If you catch what I'm saying, half the time I don't understand what my son is talking, but I'm learning. I have to keep learning. Yeah. So that's my side of the story.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for all the questions. And I found you very powerful, as a mom, as a person, I think.
Thank you.
And very nice to see.
I hope that, with this sharing, my testimony, it's able to encourage the viewers, your viewers, don't struggle alone because there are so many others just like you. What makes you different from the rest is not admitting defeat and not tell yourself I'm not good enough. You are always good enough. You always deserve better. And then happiness comes from yourself. People around you can't give you the happiness you ask for. You have to take the action. Change takes time. Familiar, Yumi-san? Change takes time. People always say change takes time. You know what I tell them? Change needs you to take action. If you say change takes time, you can take forever. Nothing's going to change. You need to take action. You want your life to change, do something about it. You want your life to improve, do something about it. You want to improve academically, become better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, do something about it. Don't just sit there, I want to change. When is the change going to come? You wait for things to happen around you. Sorry to disappoint. Help is not coming. You got to help yourself. Okay, 頑張って加油
So, thank you very much, クエンさん。そうですね、今日のシェアは、こんな感じです。本当に、パワフルな、ママで、本当にね、行動力がある方です。ということで、また明日お会いしましょう。クエンさん、Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.